What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MontyVerse. Today we're going to be checking out a brand new anime that released today that a lot of people seem to be talking about. I mean, we were at New York Comic Con this weekend, and this one anime in particular was all over the place, and it's one that we've been getting hyped up. People have been hyping up to us for a while, at least, you know, in our circle of friends and in the anime community, and that is Chainsaw Man. Now, I don't really know anything about Chainsaw Man. I wanted to go into this anime as blind as possible, but a lot of people seem to really love the manga, and there's this really big hype surrounding the premiere of this series, which premiered today, actually. So, Nikki, I don't know. Are you familiar with anything about Chainsaw Man?
I mean, honestly, not for the most part. A little bit unlike you, I did, after I saw that there was going to be a big panel for it at New York Comic Con, I did look it up, and I did read a little bit about the world building and a little bit about the plot, and frankly, I'm kind of glad I did, because it sounds very expansive, and there's kind of a lot of lore to cover, but other than that, I truly know nothing about it.
Alright, well, I don't want to know anything, so don't tell me nothing, and let's just jump right into this. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, guys, episode 1 of Chainsaw Man. We're hitting it right now. Let's go.
I have chills already.
Yeah, that's a door. It's a pretty ominous door. What? This guy's evaluating
his own nut.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough. I was gonna say, I don't know how much all that was, but...
What's this man spending money on?
Is that tomato?
It looks like it. Alright, let's check out this opening. Because you gotta judge an anime by its first opening.
That's a nice space line.
So familiar. I don't know what's going on, but it looks all very awesome. Oh, this is by Mappa. Okay. Who did Attack on Titan, the latter half of the final season.
So, not Rumbling, but one of the other ones?
No, I mean like the animation studio.
Oh, the studio. Oh.
Yeah. Jesus. What? How did he get in such debt?
We'll find out, but I mean, oof. That's rough, but not unrealistic.
Oh, okay. It's inherited debt. So weird. He's got like this weird...
Ew. No wonder he sold his nut. He'll do anything.
I think it's deeper than that. It's
yeah, probably. Something more psychological or even supernatural, maybe, but...
Definitely not super... I think it's more psychological.
Yeah.
Oh, got him.
So... Priorities.
I don't want to be that guy, but you only got one nut left. Time's running out, pal.
He also just follows him around in the car, no matter where he is.
He's got to protect his investment. I guess you don't know how loan sharking works. You don't just let people go.
I mean, I'm kind of glad I don't.
I hate to ruin that moment, but that also means that he uses the dog to cut trees down?
Hey, it's very resourceful.
Aww.
He is pretty cute.
He's sleeping with a chainsaw, technically.
Aww, that sounds like a nice date.
I really love the animation.
Oh no, it looks absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
Aww.
scumbag.
Alright.
He was the demon?
Alright, loan shark is one thing, but they killed a dog.
John Wick. Well, can the dog die that easily? It is a demon.
I mean,
Devil.
I don't know, but they definitely harmed it. Well, yes. It's in the name.
Man, I really love the style of this.
Oh no, like, especially the scenic animation is gorgeous.
The movements, too, are really cool. That's the cutest little devil I've ever seen. Oh! Oh gosh! Oh, they threw him in a. They cut him up and threw him in a garbage?
Oh god, I didn't even realize he was cut up at first. Jesus.
Disrespectful.
Oh no!
No. Oh my god, he does use Pochita to cut down the trees.
Aw, he's too selfless. So
cute.
Oh, those giant eyes.
Right, that's
Oh god.
pretty gross, but pretty cool.
Oh god. Oh.
Oh my god, he barks like a dog.
Oh, he did that. Yeah, he did that earlier.
Never What? Wait, what? So, what? Pochita gone now?
I assumed they fused in some way.
Oh, okay.
I think. I guess we'll find out.
Oh my god, he has a ripcord coming out of his chest. Wow, these are really the laziest zombies. They just threw him in a garbage, like right there.
I mean, they thought the job was done.
I just love how this is all just a chainsaw. Oh yeah. Oh my god! He has super chainsaw powers. Oh! That's awesome. Oh my god, these slick motions are insane. I love it. Wait, he has to pull the ripcord to start the chainsaws every time? That's actually pretty hilarious.
That's a fair assumption.
Oh my god, she's actually hugging him.
Yeah, I would probably just run the fuck away.
Hush.
Wow, that's a really hard choice.
It's like he's going from one servitude to another.
Pretty much. But at least this time he's being fed.
Oh wow.
Nice.
He's gonna get his bread and jam.
Aw. That's all he wants in life. Bread and jam.
That was pretty fun. That was pretty. You know what's so weird about it?
What?
It's for everything that I was expecting. It was almost like very tranquil. It was almost a very. At times, it was very. I don't want to say slow because definitely wasn't slow, but it was very quiet and peaceful, almost like this interesting tranquility to contrast the viciousness of the ending.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, we had this really gruesome extended fight sequence where it's like chop, 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 like at once, but everything leading up to that was some pretty in-depth character development for Denji, a lot about his backstory and just the shit that he's gone through. And I think that's a good contrast, and it gets you I think more invested once you get to that point.
Yeah, and you want to know what's so weird? I don't know if it's just me, but this show, especially Denji and his kind of situation, it's so weird. It's almost like a contrast of Naruto in a way, of the character of Naruto, not the show. Because they both kind of come up in very similar situations. You know, Naruto is an orphan essentially, and he's abandoned, and he's left to survive on his own devices by the people of the village, and he's hated. And Denji's kind of in the same situation.
Yeah, he's very isolated. Like, he has kind of these weird circumstances, and obviously at the beginning, like, there's nothing, at least that we saw, that was supernatural about him. He just had a chainsaw dog, but had his own unfortunate circumstances and just life conditions that he was dealing with. Especially, and they don't age him. He's clearly meant to be very young, though.
Yeah, and it's almost like a play. Like, there are times where it's almost like I feel like they're making fun of Naruto, like shonen protagonist like Naruto.
Yeah.
Like when he eats the cigarette, like just like, yeah, I'll do whatever I can to like get out of my circumstances, and it's just like him like cataloging all the body parts he had to sell.
Right.
Whereas, you know, for Naruto, it's just like, I need to do better. I will train harder, or like Goku, or someone like Goku, where it's like, I'll just train harder.
Well, this is, I think the other difference is that, at least from what we saw, where with Naruto and Goku and, I mean, Luffy, like, they all have these, like, they're internal goals in that they want to be better people, but it's also external in that there's something specific they're seeking. Denji, he says it. He just wants to, like, live like a normal person. Like, he doesn't have these grandiose expectations. He's in a very shit situation that he just wants to get out of, which I think is very potent, very relatable for a lot of people, and I think, like, it's all the more tragic for that.
Yeah, and I think that it's so weird because as opposed to like a Naruto and a Goku, like Goku's aspiration is, I want to be the strongest in the universe, and
right, he just wants
Naruto
to fight.
Wants to be Hokage, and Denji's just like, I just want a girlfriend.
I want a girlfriend. I want jam on
I want a
bread.
piece of toast with some jelly, and he has to go through all of these like severe circumstances,
right,
just to kind of keep that dream alive.
Right, which it's so sad, but again, it's like we kind of laugh at that, how simple that is, but it's one of those kind of things where it's like, it's easy to take for granted until you don't have anymore. And so for him, it's like, other than, oh my god, which obviously we're going to talk about Pochita.
Yeah.
But like, other than him, it's like, what else? He had basically nothing else going for him. So you can understand why he felt that way and why he wanted just even those tiny things in life. Like, I just want to eat something besides plain bread.
Yeah, and it kind of doesn't gloss over, like, a lot of times it shows like with Demon Slayer, and again like with Naruto, like, you don't realize that these are essentially child soldiers,
right?
Like, being sent to war and fighting these gruesome battles, and a lot of them don't make it. Whereas this show kind of is just like, oh no, this is a kid, and he's doing some really dark, messed up stuff.
I mean, he's also, like, for all intents and purposes, he's basically fully murdered and dismembered. Like, if he didn't have Pochita with him, he would be, I mean, I don't know if he'd be hunting devils then, but it would be like he'd be done in the water. Yeah,
I mean, and he also had to deal with the Yakuza and his dad dying and his mom dying. His dad unalived himself, and you know, and his mom died of some sort of illness. So
that we're shown that he apparently inherited some aspects of.
Yeah.
So it's he not doing great.
No, not doing great. But strong start. I'm very curious. I'm very curious about where the series goes from here. I'm very curious about who that girl was.
Right. I clearly, it's like there's others. I don't know if it's necessarily like him, but that I guess do what he does, but in a more professional capacity. Like she literally refers to them as being part of public safety. So clearly some kind of organized group, like probably under the government to some extent, who does kind of the same thing, but under specific terms.
One of my favorite parts about anime, and I guess to some extension manga, because a lot of them are adapted from manga, is the world building. I think that it's some of the best world building in all of media and all of fiction comes from the manga and the anime portion of the world, and this is no exception. Like, I'm really excited to spend time in this world and to kind of live in this world that the author, the writer has, built for us, and to peel back the layers and to experience all the different factions and sides of these conflicts. And there's a lot of characters in the opening intro that we haven't met yet, so I'm really excited to see more of this.
And like that's the best part about it. Like obviously we were pretty engrossed in it, so we weren't commenting a whole lot, but what I did like about the intro, which I think was further proved by this first episode itself, is I don't feel like it spoiled anything. It gives you a sense of the vibe and of him in general, and like obviously we got a glimpse of him being the literal Chainsaw Man, but I think one, it was just a banging song, but two, the actual sequence itself, it was honestly just very fun.
Yeah, and it was almost way too upbeat for the episode that followed it. This episode really felt like the prologue chapter of a book.
Yeah.
Like it kind of sets the stage and it kind of builds the world a little bit for you before you really jump in.
Right.
I wonder if the rest of the show is gonna have this almost trance-like. It was such a unique first episode because I really liked that at times very soothing, very smooth, very like light elevator music type tone of the episode, and then it just goes like balls to the wall.
What I think a parallel I think there is between the opening and even just this first episode is there are, even though the world he's in is clearly a bit of a shit show, it has almost some slice of life aspects. Like, hey, like he's doing normal shit, like he's trying to pay off a debt, and then in the opening he's like bowling with people, so it's like that there's the normalcy, and that's like boom boom boom, like all at once shit goes down. And
I hope we get that, because I found that so different from the shonen anime that I'm used to watching. Like I'm a big shonen anime guy. I like my Naruto's, I like my One Piece, well, not really one, I'm not a huge One Piece guy, but I like my Naruto's, I like my Bleach, I like my Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, like a ton of I really love shonen animes. And this is something very different. No, even Demon Slayer, which is different from a lot of shonen animes, this is different from that in and of itself. And I'm really excited. I'm definitely excited to learn more about this series, because I like, having not known anything about it, jumping into this episode, I'm now so curious. It does a really good job at grabbing your attention.
What I really like, and like I said, I read up a teeny bit about it before this, and there was at this point I just truly don't even remember all of it. I was a little intimidated by like the extent of the world building, but I think this episode was great in that it didn't like throw everything at you at once, but like everything it showed, like one, it just makes sense, but two, I think it's kind of showing the uniqueness of the situation and the world they're in, how it's different from reality, obviously, the supernatural aspect, again, without being like overbearing, like, okay, here's like every single aspect of this whole universe and how every bolt like is screwed in. It's like, no, I think it revealed what it needed to for a first episode, even though I know we'll learn more down the line. Yeah, and I love the contrast. Like, I love the contrast between the tones of this episode, like the smooth and the tranquil and the hard rock and this fast pace. And I like the contrast between like the human characters and the devils. Like, you have Pochita, who is more cute and more human than every other human character we see this episode besides Denji. Yeah. Essentially. And then you have the devils in contrast to Pochita. And the Yakuza is way more in line with the other devils. Like, they're demonic. Like, because they're just straight up evil. Yeah, and I really like that, because Pochita is just... the contrast is so amazing, because it's such a cute, well-designed... perfectly well designed for what it had to do character, and I hope that it still continues to pop up, even though I guess they fuse. I was gonna say, imagine if Digimon Frontier was like that. Yeah, and just chainsaw people. I know. I love that his power is chainsaw. That is amazing. And that was the crazy thing, is I like, again, we saw advertisements for it. We saw like kind of the ads for the panel at New York Comic Con, and all I could think is like, whoa, that's like really crazy, but that's totally in line with how anime would be. It doesn't do the animation justice. Anything that we saw doesn't do the animation of this episode justice. Absolutely not. It's so gorgeous. Mappa did such a great job, and I assumed that they would, because they did such an amazing job with Attack on Titan. Right. Okay, that's what you were saying before, which I agree entirely. So I just love like the movement. They do movement so well, and they do like The
battle.
backgrounds, like
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's very good. It's really great. I mean, just from the posters and artwork that we saw on display, it was very cool. It was very interesting. It was very unique. But to see it all in motion and to see it stylized in motion, it's really, really good.
I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this because, and you might feel differently. I feel like there's a lot of modern anime where the style feels like it's not, and this is across the board, but some of them, like, the style has kind of lost a little bit of the grit to it, where, like, some things, they almost feel like it's overly simplified. This,
I would say Dragon Ball Super is a good example of that.
Early
Super.
Right, and I don't even think it's necessarily bad, but, like, you could tell the difference.
Yeah.
This, I don't think, is lacking at all of that. I think it has a great, like, the style is great, and I think it has the grit while also it's clean, like, it's
detailed.
crisp.
The character designs are detailed. Even just base human form Denji is very detailed for what he is.
Right, like, if you had told me this came out in the 2000s, I probably wouldn't question it, to be honest, if someone just told me that out of nowhere. Because I think it has, again, a little bit more of this clean, crisp, universal feel to it, that where I think a lot of anime, they can be dated by their animation too much.
Yeah, and I like the dirtiness. Like the dirtiness of the, especially when we're with Denji and we're in his little hut and we're kind of following him through the streets, and there's this dark dirtiness there, and then, you know, in the warehouse fight scene, the blood splatter and the physics of just the chainsaw. It's just all there's a lot of attention to detail put into this, and I very much appreciate that when it comes to modern anime, because I know it's very hard. I know that there is a shortage of animators and that people worked very hard on this stuff. So when it looks this good, I just can't be more happy, and I don't want to. I want to continue to praise it because they deserve all the praise. Because the animators did a fantastic job here. It's so good. I can't wait. Like I really wish that this is what the problem with weekly releases. I want to watch the next episode immediately. I want to know what happens. I want to know who that lady was. I want to know what's going on.
At the same time, I think, and not to get into a totally different conversation, I think there are benefits to weekly and binging. And I think that, at least, especially something like this, especially for me as someone who has not kept up with modern anime, I think it lets me sit with it for a little bit before we get into it.
My whole point was just I want more Chainsawman.
Oh, I don't disagree at all. That was fantastic.
Chainsaw fighting.
I do too, and I'm getting over my squeamishness in order to watch this.
Good, but you know what? I think that's gonna be it for Chainsaw Man episode 1. I really liked it, and I'm excited for the next episode. But, Nikki, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Twitter, at Egglord Nicki.
And you guys can find me on all of the socials at the MontyVerse. Twitter at the MontyVerse, Facebook.com at the MontyVerse, Instagram at MontyVerse, and you can find me on the MontyVerse YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, by the way, subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest content. We are covering a ton of different things lately, including more anime, Power Rangers. We're covering all the Marvel stuff. So if you like that stuff, make sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of that. And if you like the video, give it a huge thumbs up. And until next time, guys, stay versed.